The following may contain offensive language, adult humor, and/or content that some viewers may find offensive. The views and opinions expressed by any one speaker does not explicitly or necessarily reflect or represent those of Mark Radulich or W2M Network. Please listen with caution, or don't listen at all.
TV party tonight! What? TV party tonight!
Oh, we got nothing better to do than watch TV and have a couple of brews.
Don't want to talk about anything else.
We don't want to know.
We're dedicated
Yes.
to our favorite shows!
Oh, my circuits!
Everybody loves Hippo Toes.
Scary dog!
Pearson and Blurnsville.
Futurama!
Good evening. You are listening to a Radulich Broadcasting premiere podcast, TV Party Tonight.
There it is. We're getting it.
I'm your host, the mandated reporter, and frankly, I'm very tired and forgetful, Mr. Mark Radulich. And tonight, our favorite show is Paris Has Fallen, and I can't get up.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that, Jesse?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I do.
You remember the old lady, she fell and she couldn't get up?
Oh, yeah. There used to be there was a song that made the rounds, too, like a rap song, if I remember correctly.
I heard it's because she was in Paris and was shot up by a terrorist.
Jeez, he criminy. Well,
Yeah.
I
They didn't tell you
expected that.
They didn't tell you that part in the 80s.
No, they did not. Gosh.
Paris Has Fallen is a 2024 French and English language action television series. It is written by Howard Overman and directed by Oded Ruskin and Hans Herbots. The cast is led by Tewfik Jallab, Ritu, Arya, and Sean Harris. Howard Overman, you may have heard of before. He has gotten writing credits on such luminary shows that I know that you've all watched, like Moving Wallpaper, Hotel Babylon, Misfits between 2009 and 2013, which was a British sci-fi fiction comedy drama television show. Yes. Oh, he worked on Dirk Gently.
Oh, okay.
Okay, as in like Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency.
Yeah.
Crazy Head. He worked on that. He worked on the War of the World series.
Oh
Not
man.
on
I thought
the
I was like, what? Oh
no, not again. And prior to Paris Has Fallen, he worked on The One. For the Misfits, he actually won a Best Drama Series at the British Academy of Television. The Misfits won a Best Broadcast Award. And he also got an award for Best Special Effects for Misfits Breakout of the Year. So, that's Howard Overman. Yes.
okay.
He is actually best known for creating the series Misfits, which won a 2010 BAFTA Television Award for Best Drama Series, as I said.
Okay.
So he's no slouch, Jesse. Don't put that man down because you've never heard of him.
Okay. It sounds like he's a big deal over, there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this definitely has that over there feel, considering it's very European.
He's where the culture's from.
Indeed.
Not in this country where we have nothing.
No, no culture here.
We have TikTok. We have TikTok and tits. That's what we've got.
Uncultured, I believe, is what they call us.
Swines. That's who we are. Yes.
Swines.
You may have recognized at least one of the actresses.
I did.
Ritu Arya, is a British actress. You have seen her in such amazing, fantastic, wonderful movies as Last Christmas, Red Notice. She was Inspector Urvashi Das. She is not Dwayne The Rock Johnson or Ryan Reynolds or Gal Gadot.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't know if you knew that or not. She's not those three people.
Number 4.
Right. Actually, now that I read that she does seem familiar. She was journalist Barbie in Barbie.
Okay. All right.
She's also got some television credits besides Paris Has Fallen. She's Lila Pitts in seasons 2 through 4 of The Umbrella Academy.
That's right. That's right. That's where I recognized her from.
Are you a Whovian? Do you like Doctor Who?
I do love Doctor Who. Yes.
Well, she's in episode. She plays Gat in the episode "Fugitive of Jadoon."
Can you? Well, you'd have no idea. So my watching stops shortly after Peter Capaldi, and then I wanted to watch everything after that. I just have not had the chance to do so.
She also plays Gail in the episode "The Sign of Three" on the Sherlock Holmes show.
Never watched
that starred Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, I know that. I was going to say that's a pretty popular series, but I've never watched it.
So that's who she is. And Sean Harris, he's been in a bunch of things.
Okay, so this is going to answer a question for me right now.
Yes, sir.
Are those are not his scars then?
No.
Okay. I mean, he this pretty convincing. I thought this is the first time I'd ever seen him. So
this is not the first time you've seen him.
Okay.
You know how I know that?
Credits, because now I'm going to be like, oh crap, I know this guy.
Okay, so he's King Arthur in The Green Knight, which Ronnie and I reviewed.
Never seen him.
He is Solomon Lane in Mission Impossible Fallout.
Never seen it.
For fuck's sake, Jesse. He is Solomon Lane in Mission Impossible Rogue Nation.
Oh, never seen it.
He's Fifield in Prometheus.
I've seen Prometheus. I do not remember him.
I'm sure he gets killed by an alien in Prometheus.
Probably
60%
chance.
I mean, he's in other stuff, but
I did not. I thought, and kudos to our makeup department here, because I really bought that. They pulled this guy. Not only did he have these scars, but I thought he was a decent actor.
And on television, he is Micheletto Corella in The Borgias. You never watched The Borgias, Jesse?
Nope, have not. I do not know what that's about.
What about Law and Order UK? I know you like your Law and Order shows.
I did not know. I mean, it makes sense that they have a spinoff for that. But I did not know there was such a thing.
Fucking Law and Order everywhere.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, he's Thomas in a television film, an Italian-American biblical historical drama TV miniseries called Jesus. Aren't you all like churchy up in Ohio there?
Sounds very specific. I mean, if you could have probably pointed me toward any movie named Jesus, and there's like 5 of them that I could probably rattle off at some point.
Who are you to doubt that British Academy Television Award for Best Actor, Sean Harris?
I did not doubt the man. I just can't believe I didn't see him in anything prior.
How could you not have seen his miniseries Southcliffe in 2013, where he received 3 consecutive nominations for Best Supporting Actor at the British Academy of Television Award?
Somebody just sent me something yesterday saying that exact same thing. You need to watch this. And I was like, oh, really? Okay, no.
Okay.
I had no idea.
So this is a show that nobody saw, made on a continent that nobody's been to, with actors nobody's heard of. That's the subtotal of what we're doing here tonight.
Can you please just let our audience and me know why this show?
So I don't remember what I was doing in the year of our Lord 2025. However, I do know that in the first quarter of this year, I was going through various Wikipedia pages and taking time out of my workday to update the calendar and find things for you and me to talk about. And I kind of wanted to stick with like one season of television. So you've heard the podcast Canceled Too Soon, right?
I've heard of it, yes. I've never seen it, but I've heard of it, yes. Or I should say listen to it.
Yeah. The premise of Canceled Too Soon is they review a season of television or less.
Oh, what am I saying? Yes. Okay. I reckon Whitney Strieber. Is that his name? Not Whitney Strieber. Shoot, that's the alien
Whitney
guy.
Sleibold.
Whitney Strieber of Communion. Which I don't know if that
you sound like you sound like a comedian. I can't remember which. Oh, it was Patton Oswalt. He was doing like an impression of like the guy from like Carvel. He's like, and it won't be like Whitney, Sigourney Shriver's communion, and aliens will crawl in your butt.
That is exactly who that is. But anyway, yes, I know exactly who you're talking about. Cancel too soon. Okay.
Yeah. So they did a whole thing about one season of television, and I thought, well, I would like to do a season of television, not 7 seasons with 22 episodes. I want to do a season of television, talk about it with my friend Jesse, and then move on with my fucking life.
What is really strange is today I get onto Facebook, and I think you had shared something about, or maybe it was somebody else. Somebody covered something in Paris today. And apparently,
I was yes,
how does that line up? How does that fucking happen?
Really fucking kismet that I was TikTok live covering the Clash in Paris.
Yes,
which I think is the WWE's final like main roster PLE for Peacock. Because next month, so you know how they bought ECW? Well, they also bought all the copyrights for ECW, which means some of the pay-per-view names. Which is why the first PLE for ESPN for the main roster WWE is called WrestlePalooza. That was an ECW pay-per-view, and it hurts me, Jesse. It hurts me that they're stealing it.
Wow.
Stealing something that they bought outright 20 years
ago.
Is
Lollapalooza still a thing?
That's a great question.
I'm really, because that's, obviously the first time I've ever heard of something called a palooza was Lollapalooza.
People are going to think we don't want to talk about this show.
Well, let's just put it out there that if we do talk about this, we got about 15 minutes of content.
I'm stretching it out, Jesse. I'm stretching it out.
I mean, we'll get into it. This isn't a horrible series. It's just not a lot that's going to be remarkable.
Lollapalooza existed in the year of our Lord 1991 and ran to 1997. Took a break, as all good things should. Came back in 2003. Took another break because it's Mexican, apparently. Then existed from 2005 to 2019. Took another break and has been active from 2021 till now.
Okay, all right. I remember it being big in the 90s, but
it also existed in Paris in 2022. Chicago in 2023, Berlin in 2023, Mumbai in 2023, Buenos Aires 2023, Santiago 2023, Sao Paulo, and Gardette.
Okay, all right. So yeah, it's been around for a while. Well, anyway, so I can see ECW at that time looking at Lollapalooza and going, oh, we need that. We can do something with that. How about WrestlePalooza?
Right. I don't know how much cultural cachet Palooza has in the year of our Lord 2025.
Well, we're bringing it back.
Yeah. So anyway, the reason for the season and the letter that I read to you after the breakup I've got a lot of hoobastank on the brain these days.
Okay.
Hoobastank.
Oh man.
I was looking at something. I somehow or other ended up in the Has Fallen Wikipedia pages, and then I read that there was a television show. And I was like, oh, this is French and English. Oh, it looks like it has 2 olive-skinned people of other ethnicities besides white. Oh, it's on Hulu. Oh, I bet nobody in North America knows what this is or has ever seen it. And if there's one person I can count on to take my hand and walk over the obscurity bridge, it's Jesse Starcher. So I thought, why not? I will tell you this. Years and years ago, when Sean and I were doing On Trial, I went out of my way to find the worst possible movie we could review, just to see if I could defend a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes. We landed on Ballistic X. No.
Oh no, Ballistic X versus Sever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, what a challenge that was.
Oh boy.
I kind of had a similar thought with this. I didn't look and see what it was or how well it did. I really went into this cold. But I thought, if I'm going to take a flyer on something really obscure. And I assumed because I had never heard of it, it was European, it was Has Fallen, it was going to be goofy as fuck. I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to subject anyone else to this, but I like to torture, and you let me torture you. That's our relationship.
I'll watch it.
So that's how we ended up on Paris Has Fallen. And I have to tell you, I really like this series.
Okay.
I'm starting to think I just don't like my country
Ah.
and the art that it produces. Because this I liked. This I don't have. I mean, like, you're right. Is this going to generate the kind of, Orwellian discussions that we have? Or a Black Mirror? No. But was I riveted by what I was watching? Yeah. I wish I had had more time and energy to dedicate to it and it alone. I had to watch it somewhat distracted. But I got through it. Like, literally the last episode I watched as I was watching Clash in Paris. And then my two girlfriends like, come over for dinner. And I'm like, like one more episode of TV to watch. And like ran out the door.
Nice.
So it's like I have it on. I've got the subtitles on.
Oh, subtitles.
Got the pay-per-view on. I'm on TikTok live. I was a little distracted.
I understand.
But yeah, I actually really like this. 2 or 3 episodes into it, I was like, wow, I think you had said to me, like, this reminds me of 24. And I've never seen 24, so I couldn't tell you. I know there's a line from American Dad that they like binge the entire series. He was like, that is riveting television. But yeah, this is brave and intense. Like, I understand some people's opinion of it was it gets silly at times. Maybe if I paid closer attention, I'd have seen the silliness. But for the most part, it kind of reminded me of the dirty and grittiness of a lot of the FX TV series.
Okay.
Like,
all right,
this would have
Shield and things like that.
This would have I compared this because I ran over my notes with Fancy and my thoughts on it, and I think this kind of reminds me of The Shield and Justified, where this is intense, this is morally gray at times. These characters are complex and vulnerable and sympathetic, but also not morally clean. The villain is sympathetic in his own way, even though he's a real bastard. I'm like, I found myself enjoying this a lot more than I thought I ever would.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I didn't know what to expect here. It was... I remember putting it on, and I was like, "Okay, Mindy, let's see see how this is." Because first episode, I'm going to figure out if I watch it by myself or I have to, or if she's going to be enjoying it.
Does she still put the pins in my voodoo doll?
You'll be feeling something, I'm sure, later. Now, so right out the gate, we're starting with subtitles, and I was like, "Oh man, I might have already lost Mindy to this," but she stuck through it because it's not all. And that's what I was worried. I thought I was going to be taking place in France. We're going to get all sorts of.
At what point did she look at you and was like, "What is with your friend and his obsession with everything French? Is he French? Isn't he also the weird pervy guy? Is that a French thing, Jesse? Jesse, I need answers.
S'il vous plaît. I was like, wait. Oh, okay, you can.
Let's see.
Yeah, but the action kept us in, and of course, there's definitely a lot in the English dialect here. So it kind of, we're obviously in France. You're going to get a lot of subtitles in regards to the French, but they balance that out well enough to keep you invested in the action and not completely turn away people who are abhorrent to subtitles. So with that being said, as far as my, overall thoughts on it, I definitely likened it to 24 because that was the feel. You have this one villain who is wreaking havoc that season, and each episode is them trying to get closer and closer to track down and stop whatever plot this villain has. So very, very reminiscent of 24.
Did you watch 24 when it was on? Because I didn't.
I can't say that I did while it was on, but I can tell you that I got DVDs like after the first or second season, I think, dropped from the library. And like Kiefer Sutherland, those first like 2 or 3 seasons of 24 are really good. I think it went to like 7, maybe it went more than that. But
okay. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not reviewing them with you.
Okay, that's fine. I love the concept of it. It's great because, you know, it's 1 hour of a show and he does all this stuff in 1 hour and you're following all these plot lines, which is fine. It's a great concept. That's kind of, you know, you don't have that time frame here until the very last episode, but regardless, you know, it's them getting closer each episode and trying to unravel more of what's going on. And they pull that off fine, well enough to keep you invested throughout the season, I think, here for Paris Has Fallen. Comparing it to the movies, I think.
Oh, really, my God, they're like night and day.
You've got 8 hours of television here.
Yeah.
And then you got a 2-hour movie, maybe a little more than 2 hours. But yeah, as far as if you were going to compare action and like, I think one of the big things that the other Has Fallen movies has over this is like fight choreography. There's some that's happening in this, but it seems like, you know, Gerard Butler is kicking serious ass and all sorts of gunplay. The
series is Gerard Butler, John Wicks his way through terrorists while he tries to bodyguard Morgan Freeman.
Right.
That's the Has Fallen series. Like, it's not complicated.
Yeah,
that's not this.
No. This
is a police procedural.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of like, this is a season of like international, like The Shield.
Okay.
You know, this is. I was going to say The Wire, but it's not quite.
But I've done that 20 times, so I don't want to do that tonight.
and I've lost whatever audience we had. But The Wire had something to say about social issues. This doesn't really. I think this has an opinion about foreign wars and how we treat our soldiers, but that's about it.
Yep.
But it's not like The Shield had nothing to say. The Shield had plenty to say, so did Justified. So I feel like I said, you could have convinced me that Paris Has Fallen was like a Ryan Murphy show or something, and it was right there in the middle of The Shield and Justified. This was one season dedicated to bringing down this one villain, and it's these two cops, basically, that are coming from different areas, and they don't like each other, and they don't get along at first, and they have to learn to work together and to bring down the common enemy. That's not Has Fallen, though. Like, I honestly, my biggest complaint about this show is that this Has Fallen in name only.
Yeah, about the closest you can also, I mean, there's something dealing with the president. You know, we got the president of France.
But that doesn't come until much later. He starts off with like he's bodyguarding the foreign minister who fucking dies in like the second episode.
I might even be the first. Like, I think he takes his own
really
life
quick.
in the first one.
Set in the Has Fallen universe, because everything's a fucking universe now. A disillusioned former French Foreign Legion soldier launches a revenge attack against the French government. So you have Tewfik Jallab, who plays Vincent Taleb, and he's a protection service bodyguard and former soldier. And then he's partnered with Ritu Arya, who is Zara Taylor, and she's an MI6 agent stationed in Paris, working with the French authorities.
Yeah,
and then the bad guy is Sean Harris, and then nobody fucking. The rest of this doesn't even matter.
Well, come on, the president. We have Juliette Levesque, the president there, who is played by Emmanuelle Bercot, I believe is her name, or Bercot. She's a kind of a big deal in this.
Third from the list on the cast list. Third from the bottom.
Third from the bottom.
Yes.
I mean, you're right. She does kind of, she shows up in those first episodes. You don't start to realize the relationship that she has with Vincent until probably.
He has everybody ahead of her.
Oh,
Anna Alaru plays the Swedish mercenary who's with Sean Harris.
This is Freya. Yeah.
Yeah. Camille Rutherford is Thea, the lesbian love interest of Zara, who fucks off when she realizes that, that she's a dangerous MI6 agent. Okay.
Pissed me off when she. Go ahead.
Ahead of her also is Jeremy Colviot, who plays Matthias Garnier, the DGSI head of counterterrorism. Third from the bottom, Jesse. She's not that important.
She's the guy. Well, she is the person that shoots Sean at the Sean. let's try Pierce at the end. That granted, you know, the whole plot revolves around her. That's why it's has fallen movie. It's because the president is in danger of some sort. Oh, what is he doing? Is he grabbing?
You're reaching.
Oh, I'm reaching. Oh, okay. All right. Well, okay. So anyway, continue.
Yeah. So basically, this opens up with he's guarding, I think, like the French foreign minister.
It's the defense minister or minister of defense.
Yeah. And they're able to thwart that particular terrorist attack, but then he ends up getting to him anyway. And then it's kind of like a horror movie. Like Sean Harris's character is basically just like working through a hit list of people he thinks wronged him. So the story basically is he was a foreign legionnaire. They sent him into the Middle East during the War on Terror. He gets captured by the Taliban. They presume he's dead, and he is left to rot. What he says is, I was tortured and raped, and I eventually escaped, and you should have came and gotten me instead of leaving me there. I now see the French government as illegitimate, just like cool Lester Smooth in The Wire sees the institution as illegitimate and therefore not worthy of his obedience. And so now he's like, I'm going to kill all of you because you've proved to me that you don't deserve your positions. And that's where we are with the show.
I was going to say, hold on. You've skipped a couple very, very important parts.
Oh, please fill in.
The federal or the government, I was about to say federal government, the government decided that I think they made a decision that he went rogue.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And they were like, oh, because he's gone rogue, we have to kill him. And let's try it again. They end up betraying him to the Taliban. Mm-hmm. So he finds out that the government are the ones that gave him to the Taliban.
Oh, okay. I missed that detail.
Yeah. And so he is tortured. He escapes. And then he gets involved with, I can't remember her name, Amina, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And she takes him in after he's covered in burns. He's recovering. And I think within a few weeks, he falls in love with her, and he realizes that she doesn't leave him after looking him over, and she decides to take care of him. So they start to become a love interest. And then the president decides to try to kill him by putting a bomb in the car. And unfortunately, Amina gets in there with her 3 kids and get blown up right in front of him instead of him getting killed. So that's where he's like, okay, you guys are going to pay for what you did to the one woman that actually loved me.
So basically, this is Rambo.
Dude, you can take parallels to a lot of action films and go, okay, because one of my notes here is by episode...
Specifically Rambo Part 2.
Episode 3 or 4?
Just go in and take pictures, Rambo. No, how about I rescue all the POWs? Well, okay, but we're not going to rescue you then. You can sit there and die.
Yep. I think it was episode 3 or 4. I was like, this is Die Hard 2.
what How many fucking things is this show?
I was like, wait a second, is there something I'm missing? Like every episode is like an allusion to a previous action film, which would have been awesome, but not the case.
At some point, they talk to this, character who's playing this world's version of the Architect.
I would just love that. I was like, there's an idea. Start doing that. Make people try to figure out what action movie they are aping in that episode. Because
the finale is he's guarding a home, but he's guarding it with elementary traps.
Oh man, I would love it. But anyway, I feel like I as far as characters go that really stand out to me and performances go as well in this show, Sean Harris's Jacob Pierce was, one of the best villains. Yeah, he was like a really well played villain, and he also was. You said sympathetic. I agree. I felt for this guy. There was a point where he's going and he's picking these dudes off because they were all part of this plot to leave him there and also kill his girl and their family. And he's killing them in some pretty. I love the one that he catches and the guy pays him the money, and then he takes him and like
the fucking Joker.
yes.
He's just like sitting on top of the cash. He's like, I'm doing this as a message. I can't be bought.
I can't be
like,
bought.
Oh my!
Throws a lighter in there and burns this dude on the steps of some monument or whatever.
Hey, another reference. I don't know if we've had enough yet in the last 5 minutes. This literally is The Dark Knight. There's that line by Michael Caine, like, some men can't be bought. They just want to watch
the world burn.
That's this guy.
Dude.
Without being like a crazy fucking psycho in a clown suit. He's just like, no, I'm not interested in money. I'm not interested in recompense. I'm interested in revenge. Right. And I'm interested, but more than that, he's interested in delegitimizing this government. It's a very I think if more like lefty anti-government people were also a little bit more tolerant of the action genre and lost the words toxic masculinity from their vocabulary, I actually think they would enjoy this show, because really the message of this show is governments can't be trusted.
Mm-hmm.
That, that self-determination is best left to the people, and self-governance and governance is best left to the people, because institutions are inherently corrupt. That's the message of this show. And it's funny because the cops in it are kind of having to navigate this system. Like, they just want to bring down the bad guy.
Right.
They are motivated by service. They are impeded upon by their kind of sympathy to his point of view. But they're not so far gone or so lost, or having been so betrayed by the government that they're completely lost. Like, they're very much duty bound, but they also see the flaws with the government, and are sometimes throughout the show kind of victims of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a couple of different times they kind of bash heads with the powers that be, and they're having to like work around that, and and then enough stuff changes that it doesn't really matter anymore. But they definitely seem like, given enough losses, they could take Sean Harris's point of view.
Yeah. Throughout the season, I was kind of like I was checking boxes on the villainy of Jacob Pierce here. Like, okay, what lines is he crossing? Because burning the one dude with the money, that's a little over the top, but I mean, hey, he's getting his vengeance.
I don't begrudge him his performance art.
Yeah, right. And then there were a couple other. There were essentially he was trying to take these guys out, and and I think the first guy, he ends up kidnapping his daughter. I was like, oh, maybe that's a line. But he let the daughter go. So there's kind of like this sense of honor with him. And then I think there was a point where one person's girlfriend.
He's more honorable than the Mexican drug lord traffickers from fucking the last Rambo movie. Like, those were animals. This guy's like, I have a code.
Yeah.
Every man must have one.
Right. And in order to save, I think the one daughter that lives, I think her name is Essen. He gives himself up, which I did not see coming. That happens, I think, in episode 6 or 7, where
dude, Freya in that scene's like, come on, you pussy whip motherfucker. Get in the helicopter. Get in the helicopter. Who gives a fuck about this bitch? And
Would not.
Like, I am kind to her. Her life is important. I am nothing and she is everything, and her life is more important than mine. Freya's like, what are we doing here? Like,
did we?
I was here for the cause. What are you doing?
Did we mention that there is a nuclear bomb in Paris? Did we say that in the synopsis? I can't remember, but at some point we have a dirty bomb.
The synopsis is really thin. Yeah, about halfway through, this stopped. Like I said, so when Alexis and I reviewed I Know What You Did Last Summer, the thing that we said about it is, this is yet another show where it is the intellectual property it's being called in name only. And one of the things that I said was, this feels like this was a movie. And Amazon was like, we will give you money for this, but make it a show because we want people to spend 10 hours on our app. And also link to something we already have, like, copyrights for.
Okay.
So it got jury-rigged, reverse-engineered ass backwards into the I Know What You Did Last Summer canon. It has as much to do with I Know What You Did Last Summer as you do. So I kind of have a feeling that was the same thing with this show. Where
I can see that.
This was actually about a soldier taking revenge on the French government, and his whole thing is, I've hidden the. You talked about Die Hard. I've hidden the bomb.
Die Hard 3.
Die Hard 3. I've hidden the bomb somewhere in Paris. Nanny nanny foo foo. You can't catch me. Ha 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 ha. Come get me.
No riddles. There just wasn't any riddles here, which
Yeah.
you know, we didn't have Simple Simon giving us any riddles or anything.
Right. And then and again, you know, chicks like, well, what's our hook? How do we get people to watch this? We can't call this, you know, a Frenchy Dirty Bomb show. We have to like call it something else.
I am curious as to what titles were kind of bandied about before they landed on what
you
they
don't
were
think
doing.
it was Frenchy Dirty Bomb?
Frenchy Dirty Bomb.
Dirty Frenchy Bombs.
Oh man.
Why do you doubt me, Jesse?
Wait. You go ahead and keep talking. I'm going to Google Translate so we can find out what Frenchy Dirty Bomb sounds like in French.
Oh, good. So, according to production, again, the wiki on this is a bit thin. The 8-part series is written by Howard Overman and produced by StudioCanal, Urban Myth Films, and Millennium Media and G-BASE, 2 companies that produce the Has Fallen film franchise. Okay. I have a sneaky... I still feel like they had a script, and they got the script, and they were like... I would almost guarantee that they had a script that was something else, and they were like, well, we have Has Fallen. Let's rewrite this so that it's part of the Has Fallen world.
Right.
But I don't believe it began its infancy as that. That's my idea, at least. In any case, let me talk about a couple. We're about halfway through the review here. Let me talk about some things I really liked about this. We've talked about Sean Harris a lot. He's the best part of this show. He is one of the best TV villains I've seen in quite some time. He is composed. He is vicious. This show is very brave. Again, very European. It doesn't have kind of Americans' kind of pussy sensibilities to it. Like, the action's kind of brutal. Like, you can hear like bone snapping at times. You know, like there's some real crunch to this show.
Oh yeah, I think in our first episode, there's, you know, a fight that breaks out because Pierce has made himself known there at that party, and there is a mime that gets a stiletto right in his eye.
Yes.
Not good.
Well, that brings me to Arya. What's her name again? Ritu Arya. What I like about her, because I'm very, very sensitive to this right now, which is how you present women in action set pieces. Now, you notice I'm not saying you shouldn't have had her. I think she's brilliant in this. I really liked her in this. I think she plays off the other lead really, really well. But what this show does well that a lot of American Hollywood bullshit does wrong is she's not Superwoman. She's not a Mary Sue. She's not morally superior to everyone around her. She's driven. But she's, you know, you have to get into her home life, which I think the show... Normally, this is the sort of thing where I'm just like, oh, this is the boring part to the show. But actually, it's one of the few things that gives her any depth, is that she's in this relationship where she has to hide her identity from her because she doesn't want her to scare the fuck out of her. And then the woman finds out about it, and she's like, why would you lie to me? He's like, okay, well, I won't lie to you anymore. And then, all good women, you know, I understand that I asked you to tell me the truth, and so you did, but now I don't like that either. Can't fucking win here. But I think that's great. Like, it really gave her character some depth. You know, like there's a point where they're talking about his relationship with the president, because they have a love affair going on, and she's like, this kind of morally compromises you. This is not good. He was like, I agree with you. Which is brilliant, by the way. It's brilliant fucking writing in the year of our Lord 2025, where a man just like, everything you're saying is correct.
Can't deny it.
And she's like, you're not going to change, are you?
Nope.
Not even a little. And
nope.
She's like, and she just sort of looks out the window. All right, you're a fucking asshole or something like that. You know, oh, fuck you, Vincent. And that's it. That's the end of the conversation. And I'm like, wow. If this had been in America, if this had been an American character, she'd have been nagging him the whole time, and he'd have been apologizing the whole time.
Yeah.
And instead, he's like, I'm a guy. I have a penis. She's a girl. She has a vagina. I just happen to be a protection agent, and she's the president. We'll figure it out.
It's complicated.
And she's just like, it doesn't have to be, though. Why don't you try doing the right thing? And he was like, you know, which I feel like is the reaction most people have to being called out on their bullshit.
True.
It's one of the better scenes in the whole show is that little interaction between them, but it really showed her as being somebody who she's capable but not invincible.
Yeah.
You know, she's not a lot of the girl boss characters. Again, we're all real sensitive to that sort of thing now. Dude, she gets her fucking ass beat through most of this show.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. I mean, to kind of support what you're talking about there, she's definitely not invulnerable when she gets into some of these fights with these men, these grown men that like whip the shit out of her. When they're at the
airport, she barely gets out of that.
Right. That was the one thing, because I mean, he picked her up, punched her a few times, and I mean, it's not like she's just like shrugging it off. She's definitely walking out of this stuff limping and bruised and barely.
All the credit to like the costume and makeup people. They bloody her up good.
Yeah, they did.
There's a couple of scenes where she gets into fights where after she looked like a fucking domestic violence victim. They beat the shit out of her, and like she's a champ, man. She fucking took it. But you know, she like you're talking about the bit with the stiletto heel, like that's all like her. She was overpowered by a big, burly man, and she just shifted her weight just enough that he fell on it.
Yeah.
There's a point where she takes a fucking like a spine buster. She took a legit Ron Simmons damn spine buster and lights out, baby. She fucking woke up and didn't know what year it was or math.
Yeah. Yep.
It was good shit. But like I said, they gave her a lot of agency. They gave her a lot of like toughness and a lot of intelligence, but they also made her morally questionable. And they didn't make her a nag, which I thought was great. Now, by comparison, they have Tewfik Jallab, who plays Vincent Taleb, and he's capable. He's just a different kind of president. Like, it's weird. It's like we can either have Superman or Adam Devine, as if there's nothing in the middle. And he's in the middle. He is squarely in the middle. He is a trained, ass-kicking, serious fellow who's just kind of like, I'm here. I have a job. This isn't the whole world to me. I love a girl. I'm not moved by any of this, but I have a job to do, and I'm gonna go do that. Like he's flat in all the best ways. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And I think we get to see at the beginning.
Hang on a second, because I got called out on this on TikTok.
Uh-oh.
If you want a relatable male character, you don't have to have him be a complete fop like fucking Jack Quaid and Novocaine. Go for this guy. Go for this guy. Because everyone's just like, oh, Superman, steroids. We like relatable people. We like people that look like us. Okay, this guy is closer to that than fucking Jack Quaid is. Like, why is our choices shouldn't be either Stallone or Schwarzenegger or Jack Quaid and Adam Devine. There's a middle ground.
There is a middle ground, right?
That's all I'm saying, and this guy is the middle ground. All right, now I'll shut up.
I was just going to say, I mean, right at the beginning, we could see that he's doing his protection of the defense minister, and he gets saved, I think, by Zara, doesn't he? Like, isn't that what happens? Like, he is just about to die, and she comes in and
she saves him in the kitchen.
Right.
And they don't know whose side he's on, so they almost shoot him.
Yeah, right. So he has his moments where he's just like you said, he's in the middle ground. He's just trying to figure out what's going on. He is also trying to deal with Zara plays more of the, oh my goodness, what's the best way to describe her personality? She seems like she's not hot-headed, but she makes decisions.
He calls her out on that. She's reckless.
That's probably the best way to put it. Specifically that moment where they have Pierce on the roof and she's got Essam and she decides to go, well, hey, look, I'll put a bullet in this girl's head.
What a great example of what I'm talking about. I actually forgot about that until you mentioned it. She fucking she goes to leap, and because she's a fucking girl, she doesn't make the leap that the guy made and hits the roof and doesn't quite make it. And then she tries to get up on the roof anyway. It gets punched squaw in the mush.
And luckily she doesn't die by sheer luck.
She falls off the roof and like her shoe gets caught. So the camera cuts and she's just hanging there like fucking Pinocchio. And she's like, well, I feel sheepish.
It's a bit embarrassing.
I love that because again, you don't get that kind of like physical female vulnerability in America,
right?
And you got it here. It was very comical.
Yeah. So watching these two, they had decent chemistry, I thought too, as well. I think as far as working together and they were pointing out each other's flaws and also trying to figure out how to work together, because our first episode brings them together. And then throughout the rest of the season, you're watching them try to, number one, work as a team, and number two, kind of help each other through some of their personal stuff that's going on. Although they don't really step too much into each other's stuff. I think, at one point she goes to pick up Thea, who is high. I mean, she's an addict. And, he kind of just like, she goes, "Are you going to report me?" And he's like, "No, I'm not, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to, you've got your own stuff." These are two people that realize they have their own stuff and they don't need to be in each other's business.
Yeah. There's not too much American television involves like lecturing and nagging and gesticulating, and there's none of that in this show. This, as silly as this show is, and it gets silly at times, like there's stuff like, first of all, Sean Harris would have, when they finally caught him, when they finally had him cornered, he'd have never seen the light of day again. He'd have been like the Hulk, like just like in an underground fucking bunker, never to be heard from again. There's no way he's fucking getting out.
Right.
And there was so many convenient moles, giving information.
We were watching the one guy who gets accused, and they bring him in. They're interrogating him, and they're sitting there watching him. And here comes this one girl I don't think we ever saw in any of the other episodes. And she comes in and says something about, "Oh, hey, so and so is in there getting interrogated." And I'm like, that chick's involved. I knew immediately as soon as she walked in and said something. I'm like, why is she coming in here? And all of a sudden now we know about who Simone is. And I'm like, yeah, she's going to be a big player. I bet she's the one. And sure enough, I was right. It was, I hate to say, but I feel like it was, a bit predictable and a bit formulaic sometimes.
You weren't on the review when I went fucking off on this. The second 28 weeks later, where
oh yeah, okay, go ahead.
They have the mom, and the mom is immune to the zombies, but she's infected.
Yeah.
So they know that they can get cures from her blood. And she's left completely unguarded, and the idiot husband bumblefucks his way into her room, and of course she bites him. Or whatever the bullshit that was. And I'm screaming at Robert, there's no fucking way he'd have gotten that close to her. No, they'd have had guards. They're like, well, there weren't that many people. I'm like, well, what people they had would have been guarding her. Like, this is horse shit.
Yep.
That was like the only part of this where I was like, when he got out that second time, we get into the last arc of the show, which focuses on the president. And I'm like, there's no fucking way he'd have seen the light of day again. They'd have sent him to the French version of Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah.
They'd have sent him to La Guantanamo Bay.
They're obviously not too worried about trying to kill their operatives, so I don't even know if this dude would have made it out there alive.
They'd have shot through some of the soldiers to get to him.
That's just not happening.
We are French, and life doesn't mean nothing. Okay. Yeah. What else you got? Because I don't think because we're getting on an hour, and I don't want to belabor the.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
I think the action and the fight scenes are really, really good, and I think the way that they have our main characters operating through the fight scenes, where you can be led to believe at any given time they're gonna get killed or get their ass kicked. Mm-hmm. Like again, this isn't fucking John Wick where he can fight an army of people in hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, and I wonder if some people thought that that's what they were going to get with this, which is
that's Gerard Butler in all the fucking movies.
Exactly. So I can't really fault somebody for going into this thinking that, oh, good, we're going to get 8 episodes of John Wick, and you're not. You're going to get more about military espionage. You're going to get more about police procedural. You're going to get to learn a lot about it's just.
What did you like the fact that this was a TV show? This was essentially an 8-hour movie.
I mean, it didn't bother me that bad. I mean, I went into this thinking, okay, they're going to pull obviously I was swerved because we didn't get John Wick, every episode. So, I mean, did it bother me after getting past the first episode? I think what saves it is Sean Harris, in my opinion. I think because they have a very capable actor doing a very good villain, it's going to be tough to go to top this, really. I think next season you're not going to really be able to have a villain anything like this because you're going to feel like, people are going to say you're aping that previous season and you can't do it. So
I get a little itchy about the 8-hour movie thing now. One, because I think it's cynical and intellectually dishonest. Like, stuff that's getting stretched out into series that are really meant to be movies because of the way streaming works. And I don't love that. And I feel like this was a solid 2-hour movie. And the only reason why I'm willing to kind of go along with the 8-hour movie thing is they didn't fill it with action nonsense. They filled it with character depth.
Yeah, I was going to say that's really a lot of kind of what you get. It isn't excessive.
Yeah.
As much as you'd think it would be. It's not really excessive. I think you learn more about Zara's relationship with Thea and of course Vincent's relationship with the president. But they fill it a little bit more with, I think, my personal opinion, they were like, okay, yeah, 2-hour movie, but let's make it there's a chase. Okay, we got to chase this guy down. What's our next episode going to be about? Oh, okay, this is where he's going to make the bomb. All right, how do they do that? They got to get the uranium. How do they get the uranium? They hijack a flight. All right, there's our episode. They're going to hijack a flight. So I feel like that was more along the lines of what they were doing, is just giving us A to B, but let's make B actually, J or something, and then we'll put some stuff in between and just really kind of expand on it. The payoff with Thea and Zara, I feel for Zara. Number one, she loves this girl. But you're sitting there like, this is not a healthy relationship. Number one, Thea's an addict. Very real. We'll just put it that way. It's not healthy, but it's very real. There are situations where, okay, yeah, your significant other is going to be, that happens out there in the world. Well, Zara is pretty unique. She doesn't really want to add to this girl's problems, so she's kind of keeping everything secret. And then at the end, I think that's one of the biggest tragic moments of this whole show is when Thea leaves Zara because Zara decided to take the shot and try to save, 100,000 people or something.
I want to read this to you.
Read it.
I made the assertion this feels like the original script was a movie that was reverse engineered into the Has Fallen universe and then stretched out to a streaming series.
Okay.
Dancy says, it's actually a smart assertion. And you're not the only one who's picked up on it.
Oh.
From what's been reported, Paris Has Fallen was pitched as the first of several international spin-offs. Paris, Mexico, Berlin. The idea was always to expand the Has Fallen universe, but it wasn't locked to any one character or script or film script. That left room to retrofit existing thriller ideas into the franchise skin. Howard Overman of Misfits fame, as we all know, and War of the Worlds, is a TV guy, not a film franchise writer. His involvement supports the reverse engineering feel. He built it with specific episodic arcs, but you can sense the bones of a 2-hour feature stretched into 8 episodes. Several reviewers said it plays like a long movie chopped into 8 parts. That's why it feels cinematic in structure, but still paced for streaming. Slow reveals, mid-season betrayal, big climax in episode 8. So your read is dead on. It didn't likely begin as a true Has Fallen script. It feels more like a Euro thriller pitch, spy plus bodyguard plus scarred vet, that Millennium Media and Butler's G-BASE folded into the brand once they decided to launch TV spinoffs.
What is we're coming back with a season 2, right?
Yes. From what I remember,
I was looking
on
forward
March
to it,
28th. It was announced the second season, continuing with the same actors. Apollo Has Fallen was in production, and there's actually a Wikipedia page for it. Apollo Has Fallen is an upcoming action thriller TV series, part of the Has Fallen franchise and a sequel to Paris Has Fallen. Returning cast members includes our two leads here. A hijacking causes Europe to be threatened by a deadly virus. Oh, fuck me. It's 28 weeks later.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
this
my
feels
God.
like 24 season something or other because that happened.
Oh, God. It all adds up. Good grief.
What is Apollo the name of? Because we're breaking rank if that's not the name of a city, so that's got to be the name of.
No, Olympus was the first one.
Oh, Olympus. You're right. Okay.
Olympus has where's my daughter, who's into the fucking Greek gods and shit. Olympus has fallen, and now Apollo has fallen. And next week's gonna be fucking Jupiter has fallen, and then it ascends. It'll be Jupiter ascending.
Wait a second. This trilogy makes no sense.
and then it's gonna end with Jupiter's legacy. What?
What the hell?
None of those things match up.
Oh.
All right. Where's your fucking list, pal?
Here we go. Get ready, because I've got my notes, episode by episode. My favorite, the things I picked out.
This is where Jesse pays a lot more attention to the TV show than I do.
Episode 1, my highlight of my notes are: I knew I didn't trust that mime. I didn't trust that mime. Did not trust that mime.
No mimes can be trusted.
No, they cannot. Episode 2, we kind of already talked about, where Moulin, I think is his name, or Moulin, gets burned with all his money that he pays Pierce.
I believe his name is Moulin Rouge.
Moulin, that's right. He gets burnt with all his money right there on. That was a great moment. He's like, can't be bought. Episode 3 is where we meet Beatrice, who was one of the ones that orchestrated or helped orchestrate the car bombing. And the big moment really I had down here was that at the end when Beatrice gives Pierce the president's name, which is like dun dun dun, it was the president of France that ordered the hit. Episode 4, this is my Die Hard 2 moment. Pierce is shutting down all the flight transponders, and I was like, wait a second, that didn't exactly happen in Die Hard 2, but there was definitely a plane involved, and I remember them messing with the airport. And then that's where I was like, man, it would be great to have a show that kind of paid homage to 80s and 90s action flicks by every episode having some kind of a villain that just uses that same
maybe
thing.
Our hero has to go to Thailand and enter a kickboxing tournament.
Oh my gosh. Come on. And people were sitting there going like, what's the next episode going to be? It's good for at least 3 seasons.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
There's so many.
Yeah,
maybe one where he's on like a weird game show where he gets chased by like pro wrestlers with chainsaws.
8 episodes each season. Trust me, you got to hit on your hands. Episode 5, that's where Zara takes Essen, I think is her name, hostage to get Pierce to give up, which I think a lot of people had problems with that. I thought it was kind of brilliant. I liked how Pierce is like, okay, yeah, because it shows that his love for Amina and Essen.
Like he's still a human being. He's not a video game boss.
Yeah, the whole purpose of him going through this is to avenge what happened, and he doesn't want anything else to happen, and to Amina and her kids. So Amina's already dead, but Essen, unfortunately, Essen does escape. Episode 6. Oh my goodness, I had a few of these. Actually, I sent you a picture. All right, but the first one is when they've got Pierce and they're interrogating him. And I mean, this dude's covered in scars. At one point, you see his back. He's burned up and down his arms. And they bring him into the interrogation room. And Vincent and Zara in there. And Vincent looks at him and goes, "You want a coffee or a sandwich?" And Pierce looks at him and says, "The Taliban would burn me, and you offer me coffee and a sandwich." He's like, "You ain't getting shit from me right now. I don't even understand how you think you're going to get anything out of me." They have him in a room.
By the way, I've heard that before. That's I don't want to go on fancy again, but that line about, I've heard that before where like, you think you're being tough with me, but where I come from, you know what? It was, damn it. It's the fucking
right
wire.
It's from the wire.
That's from The Wire season 2, where they're questioning fucking the Russian, and Sergey, and he was like, "In my country, I would be tortured. This is nothing.
This is nothing.
Prison's a fucking spa in America."
Pierce proceeds. That's what I was looking for. Pierce proceeds to get up from the table and go sit flat backed against the wall and puts his arms out, and he's like, if I moved when I was in prison, they would burn me with a torch. Right. And he just sat there, and it was like his meditation. It was, again,
makes you reflect on the first Iron Man, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They're like, how the fantasy is not that he could build a suit of armor that he could wear and then attack people with. The fantasy is that they didn't torture him. They just let him work in peace.
Right. The picture/video I may have sent to you was the subtitles were on my TV while I'm watching. It's mandatory now, just because you got noise in other rooms, whatever. You got kids, you probably understand.
Yes, I
anyway,
definitely understand.
So, as Pierce is sitting in his cell, you hear the food door open. They're going to give him his stuff, and they call it on there the bean slot, which I have never heard before in my entire life. Have you ever heard the door that opens to put the food into the cell as called the bean slot?
Not the bean slot, it's the food slot.
It's the bean slot, according to this. Another piece of evidence to tell you that this was not an American show at all. It's the bean slot. And episodes.
I messed with a girl's bean slot last night.
You found. Never mind. Episode 6 was also where I doubled down on the absolute worst commercial cuts in history. I have never, ever sat through a Hulu show that cut. I'm telling
you, in its original airing, this didn't have commercials.
Well, yeah, that's got to be what's going on.
Yeah.
But what? And okay, when I pay Hulu to not do commercials, do me a favor, don't cut the show like in the middle of where a commercial's supposed to be. Maybe let it go. Every other show in the history of Hulu that I've seen,
it became pre-cut like that. Is my point. Like wherever this originally aired in Europe, I guarantee you had commercials like built in, and that the file that they sent to Hulu is that with the commercial cuts. It's so poorly done.
It is. They could have done something. I mean, because to express to the listeners what happened, you'll be watching, and all of the sudden, like, I have problems where the cuts were placed because it wasn't even like a
listen to our podcast now on fucking Spreaker.
Oh, dude, that was going to be my joke, and almost my lead-in to this was like, brought to you by Spreaker. Because that's what that felt like. Like you're in the middle of something and then just cut, and then it goes to black for like 2 seconds.
So, I listened to like a podcast in the car with my kids, and it'd be like, and another thing, Jesse, and it was like, let me tell you about, do you feel sad? My son fucking laughs every time.
Stop it, Spreaker. But anyway,
my son thinks my podcast now are 2-hour commercials for like pharmaceuticals.
Oh, the Chumba Casino. Is what I get.
Dude, that's another one where he like the last time we had a long drive somewhere and he had to hear the chumba, chumba. He almost dove out of the fucking car. Or he demanded I take him gambling.
Ryan Seacrest. Let's get him on the show. I think he's the guy that's doing all these commercials. Anyway. So yes, the way that this would work is like right in the middle of something, it would cut and it would go for like 2 seconds black screen and then right back to it.
Yeah.
Did not like it. No fade out, no nothing. Like immediate cut in the music. Like it wasn't even like a dun 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 and then cut. No, It was like, cut. And then back and the same music continues. You're like, what? Okay.
Like, worst. I don't know, like have a still shot of the president and spin it or something. Has fallen.
Please. Episode 7. All right, you ready?
La Punch.
Oh, by the way, let's stop everything right now. I'm about to share my screen.
Okay.
All right. Share screen. and I'm sharing my audio on purpose here. Okay. You ready?
Hang on.
Here we go.
Frenchy Dirty Bum.
Well, that's the name of the next Fra Diavolo album is Frenchy Dirty Bomb.
I'm about passed out.
Frenchy Dirty Bum.
You're going to need to save that for future fucking sessions.
Frenchy Dirty.
Because I sense another dubstep coming on.
Oh, the old Frenchy Dirty Bomb. All right.
I gave a girl a Frenchy Dirty Bomb last night.
All right. Episode 7.
I've had enough of you and your
moving on. 2 episodes left here. Episode 7, the big revelation that I highlighted here was Vincent is afraid of horses. Yes. They go about their fears, and yes, I'm afraid of horses. So episode 8, I'm going to elaborate one more time that Zara and Thea is at the end of after she takes the shot, Zara takes the shot. Okay. So I guess we got to lead up to this here real quick. Pierce takes Thea hostage because he's trying to make sure that he obviously gets the president. That's kind of how they do this. They give the president over, but to make sure that there is no shenanigans, he's got Thea as hostage, Zara's love interest. Zara is on a roof with a sniper rifle pointed, trying to get a good shot at Pierce, and she's caught in a quandary. Does she take the shot to try and get Pierce, or does she not? Because it's Thea. She doesn't want to hurt Thea, right? No, fuck that. Zara takes the shot. And like shoots, but she shoots like enough to like skim her arm, and I think she lands the shot, I think, into Pierce. But
hang on, their conversation about that at the end of the show.
Yes,
it's like, I don't want to be with you anymore. Like, but I did what you asked. I've told you I was honest. Like, you know, it's like I don't want to have to think about you being out there. Also, can we talk about how you shot me?
Right, and that's what the
legit. Like that's not a joke. That's not a Marxism. She's legit. Like, you fucking shot me. There's no counter argument to the job is more important to you than I am. Because even if you say, but it's not, I love you, I'm always going to land back on the same problem. You fucking shot me. To get at the bad guy.
I cannot. It drove me nuts that Thea could not get past that. Like,
really?
Yes. Yeah, did I don't care. Okay, yeah, the job is important.
You would forgive me if I shot you in the shoulder to get to the bad guy?
Okay. I think I'm aware also of what the issue is here. There's a bomb that they're trying to stop from detonating that's going to kill them anyway.
Okay.
So
everything I say at this point will get me in trouble, so I will let you have that. But I also kind of want to test your theory.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, Thea, you know, she was very selfishly was like, you know, okay, no, there's no possibility that we're going to be able to work this out. Right. You shot me because the job was more important. No, I think it wasn't the fact that the job was more important. It was the fact that there was a bomb that was going to kill everyone anyway. I want to try to stop that from going on.
He was like, you got your confession. What else do you want? For Paris to not be livable for 20 years. That's your legacy. It's like, Jesus Christ.
You need to get out of that relationship, Zara.
Carry a grudge much? Jesus.
Go ahead and eat your hot chilies with whatever you're eating and leave, please. I'm done.
Go touch grass, Sean Harris.
I'm all right. There you go. There's my hot list for all 8 episodes. I almost passed out with Frenchy Dirty Bomb, but we made it.
Yeah, we have to have an impromptu sessions and make a Frenchy Dirty Bomb song.
I love it.
Not tonight though. I'm expected to end this soon.
I will pass out.
Okay, well, I don't want you to do that on the show. I might shoot you in the shoulder to get to the bad guy.
Well, that's the thing you want to do.
All right, tomorrow. So yeah, in conclusion, Paris Has Fallen is better than it has any right to be. It's obviously not perfect, but it. When was the last time you heard me say this many positive things about any television show that isn't made by David Simon? Like, you know, it was. I mean, like, weirdly, this isn't the kind of thing I normally watch anymore. So, but for once, I actually got to watch a show that I really enjoyed that had action in it, drama, romance. Like, there was a lot going on with this show that I can forgive its foibles. So if you're into the kind of intense action drama that you see in America, but you don't want it pussified, I would watch Paris Has Fallen. And I'll give you the last word.
If you like 24 and you can't get enough 24, Paris Has Fallen.
Or Die Hard. Or
there's a lot of shots we could take and parallels you can draw. But I mean, if you're interested in, international kind of like espionage, military procedural, then this is worth a shot. It's 8 episodes. It's not really as, grinding as 22 episodes could be.
If you're one of these people who just watches TV with your significant other or by yourself and you have like 8 hours to kill, this is it's an intense but breezy 8 hours.
Serviceable stuff.
Yes, sir. Serviceable stuff. That's what we're known for here.
Written on my underwear.
Serviceable stuff. I'm not gonna make a joke about that. How about that? All right. Tomorrow, we are reviewing The Toxic Avenger with Peter Dinklage. That's a remake of the movies that we talked about last week.
People are almost going to think that Peter Dinklage is going to be on the show.
Yeah. Wednesday, Alexis is reviewing Twisted Metal season 2. And then Thursday, myself and Shay Tate will be reviewing, we'll be looking at Terry Gilliam movies. We are doing Time Bandits, The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things is dead. Last week, you and I did not do a podcast because I was watching Forbidden Door.
I bet you was.
Well, I tried to, but I tried to, but she fucking left her ID in another county. So, anyway, shut up, Jesse. Then Monday we took a break from Damn You Hollywood, but we looked at Joel Schumacher movies, The Lost Boys, Falling Down at 8mm. On Wednesday, myself and Harry Broadhurst, the Indie-Siders, we looked at Forbidden Door, we looked at Clash in Paris, and then our Indie-rific spotlight was Game Changer Wrestling versus Juggalo Championship Wrestling, the 2-day war.
Whoop, whoop.
And then Thursday, we brought a new person into the cult. Dorian brought me another woman, because that's Dorian's job. Dorian's job is to traffic. Now, he says men and women. I feel like he's brought me more women than men, don't you think?
Pimp Dorian.
That's right. He was Pimp of the Year. Anyway, so Dorian brought me another bitch to put in my stable, and her name is Kat, and she's very lovely. And she is a big Toxic Avenger fan, so she came on with Shay and Sean Comer to talk the Toxic Avenger movie. So that was a lot of fun. And she, all you fucking lazy bitches in the group chats, nobody picks up their weight anymore. Oh, not you, you're fine. But everybody else, nobody picks up their weight. This girl, one show, and she's like, I have another idea. I have more ideas.
Oh, look out.
I am a girl with boobs, and listen to me. And I said, okay, well, that's convincing.
You got a good argument.
That's a winning formula. She's like, do you want to talk about the interview with the vampire show? And I was like, you know what? Sure. You seem to enjoy that sort of thing and are passionate about it. And I like talking about things people are passionate about, and I don't hate the idea. So in, I think, October, we're going to do the interview with the vampire TV show.
Okay. And then next after that, when you guys do What We Do in the Shadows, let me know.
Okay. If she pitches that, I'll let you know. Let you fucking host it. That's what's going on with me. What's going on with you?
Wow. Well, okay. Taking a look back at what has been airing this past week. I clicked on the wrong calendar.
God damn it, Jesse.
Oh, shut up. The 25th of August, on the Unspoken Issues podcast that dropped was me doing a solo shot talking about Ozzy Osbourne. Mm-hmm. Ozzy Osbourne #1 from Rocket Comics, which was an interesting imprint from Malibu. And the issue was really, I read it like a few days after Ozzy had passed, and the actual comic book came out in I think 92 or 93, and it talks about, or maybe 94, but it talks about a story where Ozzy had a dream, and they turned this into a comic where he died, and it was really, it was very eerie to kind of read what happened in there. So anyway, I break down Rocket Comics, and I break down the issue as well, the story that happens in the issue. So if you want to check that out, I even got a nice cool Suno backing track. Oh, it's good stuff. Good stuff. Heavy metal.
Oh yeah, you got me on fucking backing tracks now. I checked for Fancy, and Fancy recommended it. Yeah,
it's good stuff. And then previous to that, and tomorrow, we are in the midst of Darth Vader. Part 1 last on the 18th of August, and part 2 tomorrow, September 1st. You and me talking Darth Vader on the Source Material Comics podcast. And me and Evan Bevan's getting together talking Snap Material, happening this Wednesday, probably going to be airing later this week. And also, I want to give a shout out to my Unspoken Issues project that I'm in the middle. Unspoken Issues, 90s comics all the time. I'm in the middle of getting things together to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Black September. And Black September was an event where Marvel had bought Malibu Comics and took the Ultraverse and was going to put it in the Marvel universe. There were a bunch of superheroes.
My God, it's like that time that the WWF bought
WCW. It's amazing. Well, it's very, very kind of reminiscent of it. The problem, and almost when you look at it, what happened to WCW and WWF? WWF buys WCW and tries to make it a brand itself, right?
Right.
Well, Marvel takes Malibu and takes the Ultraverse and does something very similar. It's like, okay, we're relaunching all these titles. Prime. I don't know if you remember Prime. Do you remember the comics with Prime?
You've talked about it before.
Okay. All right. Well, Prime was probably the biggest one to come out. A big muscle bound guy, P on his chest, Anyway, it took like 5 or 6 of these titles.
I heard that completely differently and had a different image
He's on his chest. That's how he actually gets his powers. It's crazy.
Kind of more if he's knelt down in the shower. You better keep going or I'm going to keep going. And you don't want that.
Anyway, so they try to relaunch all this stuff in like 95. And it fails within a year. And you never see these superheroes again. They are part of the Marvel Universe right now. If you looked up something about Prime in the Marvel Universe, you would see that is a character that Marvel owns but does not publish.
Where he's doing kinky stuff in the shower?
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact,
I'm going to be laughing about that for the next 20 minutes.
That's good. I won't be on here. But anyway, I'm doing some solo shots. Me and Chris Armstrong are getting together talking about Black September and some of the stuff that resulted from it. And so it's a neat project. I really hope you get a chance to listen to it. If you want to learn about some comic book history and what happened back then, 30-year anniversary this September. Happened in 1995, September 95. So check that out. It's a lot of fun. I'm done talking now. I'm going to pee on my chest.
All right. So the next time we're going to go get... I didn't know you and Mindy were into that sort of thing, but I'm very intrigued. That's your own fault. Don't you get mad at me.
Don't you get mad at me.
All right. Jesse will be back next Sunday. What are you doing at 6 o'clock? What is this M&M fear with Billy D. Evan?
Billy D. and Evan with Magazines and Monsters, brother. You've been on there.
Oh, okay. Are you going to be available at 9 o'clock?
Yes. I told them specifically that as long as I'm out of there by 9, I'm good.
Okay. Well, then you'll be back a week from tonight. We'll be doing a triple feature. Oh, Jesse, have you figured out this last movie yet? Because I told you about this.
Love Me.
It out. Yeah, Love Me. So, okay, these are a triple feature of recent animated features. So we have Predator, Killer of Killers, The Witcher, Sirens of the Deep. These both came out earlier this year, one more recently than the other on streaming. And then finally, I've been wanting to talk about this all year. When I realized it was at least partially animated, I'm like, it fits well enough. It fits.
Oh, it fits.
It fits.
That's a throwback right there.
Never gets fucking old. So we'll be talking Love Me, the romance where Kristen Stewart plays a buoy who falls in love with a satellite.
What?
You need to read up on this.
I see this. Oh my gosh.
Please watch this with Mindy. I need you to like TikTok live her reaction.
Stephen Yeun from Walking Dead. I mean, I can't wait to talk about it. It's going to be a bit of a jarring turn from The Witcher.
Fucking Witcher and Predator. I need your wife's live reaction to this.
Oh man!
Just tell her it's a romance. Just tell her it's a romance. Don't tell her anything else.
I can quote her right now. The three famous words that come out of her mouth, which is always, "Well, that was stupid." That was stupid. How's that? And that better? I truncated a little bit. Okay, 3 of them.
Perfect. Thank you, ChatGPT.
I don't want to count.
All right. I'm from the Appalachians. All right.
1 + 1 is Mountain Dew.
Spell cat. COAL. Cat. All right.
Every word is spelled COAL. That's
glad you picked that up. Well done.
Merriam-Webster's dictionary of Appalachia right there.
All right, now that we've insulted everybody, we got everyone covered. Folks, this is
Frenchy Dirty Bomb.
This is Frenchy Dirty Bomb. And I am Le Ponch. Be well, be safe, and behave.